We're going to be busting some common meditation myths so you can actually eradicate all of the crap and then learn what it really is and how to approach it. What are those 3 stages then that we need to go through in order to gain a meditative state? And something else to note about how to support your meditation is your diet. Welcome to the Bright Wellbeing podcast, where we dive into real life stories, practical tools, and inspiring advice to help you reclaim your power, reconnect with yourself, awaken your inner strength, and discover your dreams. Together, we'll explore what it means to live with purpose and to become the conscious creator of a life that you truly love. All said with a spiritual and a magical twist, because that's what you are, a spiritual and a magical being. I'm Carrie Brightwell, your spiritual teacher, coach, healer, and magician, and I'm here to guide you in transforming your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Join me as we explore ways to create and activate your dream life so that you can feel genuinely happy and whole. Please subscribe or follow to ensure that you get notified and that you never miss an episode. And thank you for your support. I really hope that these episodes bring you hope, inspiration, and actionable steps to help you create a life that you bloody love. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to today's episode. What the fuck is meditation and how do I do it right? As a spirituality coach, I get so many people, even though I don't majorly deal with meditation. I do teach meditation and I provide meditations, but it's not my main bag, right? But because I am a spirituality coach, everyone assumes that meditation is my thing. And I have so many people say to me, I can't meditate. I don't know how to do it right. I don't think I'm doing it right because I can't stop my thoughts. And there are so many common questions that I thought this is a topic that needs to be covered, because the reason why people struggle with meditation is because they have a misconception of what meditation actually is. And if they understood the reality of what meditation is, then they would realize that actually you're doing it anyway, and probably doing it anyway. There are a multitude of ways in which you can approach meditation, some of which can actually be fun and dynamic and creative and effective. So I wanted to take some time to clear it up for those of you today who might be a little bit confused or frustrated, or find it challenging, and you really want to be able to gain the benefits of meditation, of which there are many. In today's episode, I am going to be teaching you exactly what meditation really is and how you can be creative in your approach to it. We're going to be busting some common meditation myths so you can actually eradicate all of the crap and then learn what it really is and how to approach it. And I'm going to share with you some interesting techniques that you can start applying today, you can start using today. And then also you'll be empowered. Once you understand what meditation is, you'll realize that you can make up how you want to approach meditation. So I'm really keen to empower you with the creativity of how you do it. And my hope is that after this episode, you're going to be like, that's what I was doing wrong. And now I know what I can do to make it better. And now I'm actually looking forward to doing it. So let's face it, the only reason why we do meditation, the only reason why we do this shit is because we want to gain the benefits. We want the well-being and we want to feel better at the end of the day. So let's dive in. Let's understand exactly what meditation is and let's see if we can make this fun. And if any of you are watching this on YouTube, you'll notice I got a nice red mark here. I train Muay Thai, and yesterday I had Velcro scraped down my face a couple of times from the Muay Thai glove. So that's what that is. And that leads me nicely into what my next episode is going to be about, which is me talking about Muay Thai as one of my biggest spirituality teachers. So get excited for that episode. But I just wanted to explain why I've got that big red mark on my face. Obviously, if you're just listening to this, then you're not going to see it. So it's completely irrelevant. But what I did say just now that I was going to look at are some of the benefits of meditation. Now, in front of me on my screen, I've got a slide that I wrote, a number of years ago when I did a presentation about meditation. And I've got so many psychological and physiological benefits. I'm not going to read them all out. I'm just going to read a few. But why do we want to know the benefits of meditation, because you want to know why to bother. Like, why do you want to do this stuff? Is it just a fad? Is it just something exciting? I mean, it's not even exciting necessarily all the time, is it? But is it just something you do because it sounds cool? Is it something you do because you're told you ought to? Is it something you do because, I don't know, you want to go into the cosmos and outer space or something? We really need to understand why to bother doing meditation, what it will give us, and how our lives can change as a result of engaging in something like this regularly, so that we actually feel motivated and encouraged to do it. So, psychological benefits then. Relaxes the heart and respiratory rate. Well, it's going to help you live longer then, isn't it? It raises the vibration of the molecular body. So when our cells and our molecules are vibrating, again, if it raises the vibration, then we are in more harmony with the universe. We are attracting more high vibration things back to us. It slows the process of aging. I mean, who doesn't want that? It increases the ability to concentrate. Great. Well, in fact, it actually increases all of your cognitive functions. It improves all of your cognitive functions, problem solving, memory recall. List some more for yourselves. It increases the alpha brainwaves, which are important for relaxation. Yeah, it does. So if you're able to very quickly link into a meditative state by using a very simple practice, then you're going to feel more relaxed and a lot quicker. And you can use this in your everyday life. It slows the release of hormones in response to stress. So that means that we can deal with our stress a lot quicker and a lot easier. So you don't become an emotional wreck, and you can just deal with your emotions a lot better. And I'm sure there'll be quite a few people in your lives that would benefit from that, including yourself. It balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. It lowers oxygen consumption. It improves the functions of your immune system, and it permits longevity. It improves palpitation and abnormal rhythmical patterns of the heart. So there's a lot going on with the heart here. And the immune system is actually governed by the thymus gland, which sits on the heart. So there's a lot going on. If you can master the art of meditation, or at least engage in meditation more frequently, then you are going to be impacting the quality of your health and the quality of your life, and allowing yourself to elongate your life. But then if you meditate, then obviously the quality of your life is going to improve. So you're going to want it to be longer. Improves many chronic conditions such as insomnia, menopause, chronic fatigue, and hypertension. And it helps to lessen migraines, headaches, heart disease, and other ailments. Like I said, I'm not going to read them all out, but that's just some of the physiological impacts of meditation. But what about some of the psychological benefits? So it slows down the mind chatter. Notice I said it slows it down. One of the things we're going to be looking at today is you're not meant to clear your mind of thoughts when you meditate. That's not what you're meant to do. But slowing them down is something that we're trying to achieve. It helps you to remain calm and centered in the middle of chaos, which I'm sure many of us can benefit from. It helps to create inner strength and balance in one's being, in your trust, in your joy in life. It eases depression and helps to raise the serotonin levels in the brain. And serotonin is associated to happiness. If you listen to my happiness episode, then you'll understand all about that. It deprograms old belief systems and negative conditioning of the subconscious mind. So when we have limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, when we have a lot of conditioning and programming happening as a result of our parents, of society, etc., when you go into meditation, you're able to see those patterns, and you're actually able to change the neurological pathways in your brain to become more positive, and so that you can actually change your way of thinking. It helps with the abuse of alcohol and drugs and anything else that you might be addicted to. Breathing patterns of meditation lessen the feelings of worry and fear and anxiety. It diminishes the feelings of grief and anger and low self-esteem. It increases the feelings of self-confidence and motivation. And it helps to diminish negative habitual thought patterns and actions. Again, I'm not going to carry on because I think you get the idea. Physiological and psychological benefits of meditation, there's many. So this is why we want to bring in meditation into our lives. And when I say bring in meditation into your lives, I don't mean you have to sit there for an hour every day humming or omming or counting mantras on a mala bead, if you know, kind of looks like that. No, 5 minutes a day of a particular technique is enough to gain these physiological and psychological benefits. And again, if you listened to or watched my happiness episode, The Science of Happiness, then you'll understand why meditation is one of the things that naturally helps to permanently raise the happiness levels in your life. All right. So that's why we want to approach meditation. Meditation myth number 1. Meditation is something that you do. This is a myth. Meditation is not something that you do. Meditation is something that you become. You become meditative. You glide into a meditative state as a result of preparing yourself and going through the 3 stages that take you into that meditative state. So meditation is not something you do, it is something you become. So what are those 3 stages then that we need to go through in order to gain a meditative state? Now, the first one is called pratyahara. And pratyahara, this is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit is a language, if you like. Sanskrit is the sounds or the syllables that are created by the vibrations in the universe. So if you could hear the vibrations that you are surrounded by, then they would sound as the Sanskrit syllables. And pratyahara is a word that is made up of an amalgamation of Sanskrit syllables. So pratyahara is the first stage. So you're getting a proper yoga lesson here as well, right? Pratyahara is the first stage of the 3 that lead us into a meditative state. So what is pratyahara? This is the stage in which we need to prepare ourselves for a meditative state. It's the stage where we release energy. It's the stage where we are able to withdraw our senses from all of the distractions of the universe so that we are ready to go into the second stage, which is where we start to observe the mind. So to prepare ourselves, pratyahara, many people will do yoga to release unwanted energy. Many people might, you could go running, you could go swimming, you could do something, jumping up and down even on the spot, something to release any built up energy that exists within the body. So once we release this energy, it's not creating chaos. It's not creating unwanted reverberations around in our mind. We can withdraw our senses from all of the distractions, such as outworldly, conversations with people, social media, what's going on outside the window. It's our opportunity to come away from everything that is being bombarded at us and allow our senses to go inside, because it is inside where we need to be in order to complete the second stage. And the second stage is called svadhyaya. Now, svadhyaya is where we become the silent witness. It is where we observe the wanderings of the mind. Now, notice I said it's where we become the witness of the wanderings of the mind. Our mind works. It works quite frantically at times, and it's meant to. That's what it's there for, right? Now, the trick here is not to try to stop the thoughts, but the trick is to merely observe what is actually happening without judgment and without any intention of forcing it to change. When you allow yourself to become the observer of the mind and how it is currently working, you'll be able to see its true nature. You'll be able to see how it lies to us. You'll be able to see how it lures us away from our very true nature and makes us believe that we're something that we're not, that we're doing something that we might not be doing, that we are something that just isn't our true essence. So when you withdraw, when you've let go of the energy and you've withdrawn your senses from the outside world and you've gone inside and you've looked at how your mind is wandering, you could be like, That's the story that I've been telling myself. That's a load of crap, isn't it? And it's from here that we get to see how it lies to us. And then we get to choose how we want to change it. And then we go into the third stage, which is dharana. Now, dharana is the stage where we then bring our mind into a one point of focus. So this might be focusing on your breath. This might be focusing on your third eye. It might be observing how, observing how energy might be moving throughout your body. It might be observing how something is moving. Whatever it is, the third stage is where we bring our focus into something, a one point thing, and then we are able to detach ourselves from these wanderings of the mind. And it is now that we then gain a meditative state. It is now, once we're able to detach ourselves from the wanderings of the mind, it is now when the thoughts start to slow down. So I will conclude. Meditation is not something that you do. It is something that you become as a result of going through those three stages. Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, releasing of energy. Svadhyaya, observing the mind as it is. And then dharana, which is then being able to focus on something so that you can detach yourself from those little eyes so that you can then slow those thoughts down and choose what you become. Meditation myth number 2 that I'm going to be busting for you today is that you need to sit down cross-legged with your hands in a mudra to do meditation. No, you do not. I mean, you can if that's what you choose, and sometimes I even do, but it's not the only way to meditate. So hopefully by now understanding the 3 stages, what you do in order to release the energy, what you do in order to withdraw your senses, what you do or how you choose to become the observer of the mind, whether you're sitting, standing, hanging upside down, whatever you choose, I don't care. You might even be moving. And what you do in order to gain that one pointed focus, that's up to you. I mean, if I think about myself, there's many things that I do that actually bring me into a meditative state. Number 1, Muay Thai. So obviously I'm releasing the energy. Obviously I am withdrawing myself from the outside world. It's just me and the pads in front of me, the trainer in front of me. I don't know what else is going on in the room when I'm training Muay Thai. I'm able to see what's going on in my mind, like what's stopping me, what's blocking me, what thoughts are coming up when I can't do this and when I can't do that. How am I belittling myself or how am I bigging myself up? I can see how I feel about myself today. I can see what's going on for me. And then my one pointed focus is me and that pad. Me and how my body is moving. How is my body moving? How is my breathing? How do I coordinate everything together? That is my one point of focus. And as a result, I become meditative. That's just one example. I used to get it a lot when I was running. Running was a big one for me. Coloring mandalas, drawing mandalas, that's a massive one for me. I don't know what the hell is going on around me when I'm drawing a mandala. I am totally engrossed in that process. I can see everything that's going on in my mind when I'm doing it. And my point of focus is the movement of the pen, the vision of the shapes coming into my mind's eye, putting everything onto paper, and the intention that I'm creating into that mandala. So what you do for those 3 stages is entirely up to you. You don't have to sit down cross-legged. What are some other examples that people might do? Dance, singing, cross-stitch, channeling Reiki, mindful eating, walking barefoot, and feeling the ground underneath your feet as you're doing it. You're probably doing some of them already, but maybe you just don't class them as meditation because before you didn't know what meditation actually was. And now you do. Now you can be like, oh, I meditate every day. Fabulous. And although you don't need to sit cross-legged in order to meditate, there are two fundamentals that I want to share with you. The first fundamental is ideally you're going to have a straight spine when you meditate. So the purpose of having a straight spine is to encourage and to amplify and allow the flow of energy that is going to move from the mind, from the brain, down your spinal column and out through all of the nerves going out into the rest of your body. Because electrical impulses will be firing during your meditation process. And these electrical impulses will be going out to your muscles, to your tendons, to your organs, with all sorts of different messages happening. So we want to allow and encourage a healthy flow and healthy connection between the mind and the body up and down your spinal column. So this is why we want to have a nice neutral spine, if we can, when we're meditating. And the other fundamental is to do with prana. So prana, life force, chi, ki, whatever you want to call it, it comes into our universe from wherever you can decide. It comes into our universe, and then when it comes into our atmosphere, it attaches to oxygen molecules. It becomes an extra particle on an oxygen molecule. The way that we receive this life force, this inspiration, this information from the cosmos is by breathing in. We inhale the oxygen, and when we inhale the oxygen through our nose, there is an organ that sits behind here, behind the third eye, and it's called the olfactory bulb. The olfactory bulb has multiple purposes, but one of them is to detach the prana, the energy, chi, ki, life force, from the oxygen molecule. And as we breathe, it detaches. Oxygen will then go down into our lungs to feed our bodies, our organs and everything. And then the prana particle will go up into our brain to feed our mind. And this is where we become connected to the cosmos, to the universe, to the consciousness, to the Akashic records, all of that good stuff. This is how we receive the information, the inspiration from the beyond. So we breathe it in, and obviously if you're breathing in through your mouth, this process can't take place. So as we breathe in through your nose, allow this separation to occur. The oxygen will go down and feed your body, as I said, and then we feed our minds. So during meditation, ideally, you are going to be breathing in and out through the nose, unless your particular breathing technique suggests that you breathe out through the mouth. But there is no breathing technique that I'm aware of where you should be breathing in through the mouth, because it completely disrupts the entire process. And then the third meditation myth that I want to bust for you today, as I've already alluded to, is that one of the purposes of meditation is to clear your mind of thoughts. No. If you're setting out to do that, to clear your mind of thoughts completely during meditation, then you're setting yourself up for failure, I'm afraid, and it ain't going to happen. By the very fact that you are breathing, as I've just said, we breathe in this life force, we breathe in this information, this inspiration from the cosmos, from the all-knowing, the one, the consciousness, whatever you want to call it. We breathe it in through our nose. This is where your thoughts come from. So by the very fact that you are breathing, a thought is going to occur. Inspiration is going to come. Ideas will appear. It's just what happens. So you're never going to stop the thoughts. That's not the purpose. The purpose is, however, to see how the modifications of the mind, the wanderings of the mind are cheating you by becoming the observer of the mind. And it is to be able to detach yourself from those lies so that you can receive the truth and breathe the truth in. And then true thoughts, true inspiration, true information becomes available to you. That's the purpose. The purpose is to receive and to reduce the amount, to detach yourself from the crap that is going on in your head. We reduce the frequency of the crap and we increase the frequency of the downloads, of the truth, of the inspiration. So what have I said to you so far? I've told you the benefits, psychological and physiological benefits of meditation. So hopefully you'll see why you want to do it. I've shared with you the 3 stages in preparation to get into a meditative state. I've also explained to you that meditation is not something that you do. It is something that you become. And what you do in order to move yourself through those 3 stages is entirely up to you. I've shared with you about the breathing, the importance of breathing that prana in, encouraging the flow of the electrical impulses up and down the spine. Because remember, we're breathing that prana in, right? Then where's it going to go? Well, it goes into the mind and we want it to go out to our bodies, right? So we have to breathe with a nice neutral spine. And it is not your purpose to clear the mind of your thoughts. So what are some tips then that I can share with you that's going to help your meditation practice? First of all, what you're going to want to do is, well, create a daily practice. Create time and space where you commit to engaging in some form of meditation technique. If I think about myself, I do quite a few throughout the day. First thing I do in the morning is sit watching the sunrise, drinking my coffee. That in itself is a meditation practice because I'm completely at one with my coffee. There's nothing else that exists. And I observe my thoughts. I wonder, how am I today? What's going on in my mind today? Where do I want my mind to go? How do I want my day to go? So that's one thing. Then I do my actual shamanic meditations, if you like. So that's an intentional meditation where I'm directing things. And then I go to Muay Thai. That also is meditation for me. And then I'll probably go to Muay Thai again at some point throughout the day. But there are stages throughout the day where I bring in meditation practices. But having a daily practice, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't care, up to you. You can start with 5. And setting up a time and a space where you dedicate and commit yourself to do that is going to bring huge benefit to yourself. And you might want to do something to get you ready to help you lessen the busyness of the mind. So as I said, the first thing I do is I get up, I have a wee, I brush my teeth. Whilst I'm doing that, the kettle's boiling. I make my coffee. These are my little routines. I'm releasing energy, and then I sit down and I'm ready to be at one with the sunrise and with my coffee. When I'm getting ready for Muay Thai, it's all about the preparation. I go running, I do my stretching, I put my hand wraps on. It's all about the preparation for me. So you'll want to do something to help you get ready to lessen the busyness of the mind so that when you do come to that point where you're going to get into your meditative state, you are ready. And I do recommend, it depends on how far down your meditation practice you are, but I do recommend that you start with something that's achievable, like 5 minutes a day. And then naturally you'll find that you'll want to stay there for 10, then you'll want to stay there for 15. And some days, if you have to go back down to 5 minutes, that's okay. It really doesn't matter. Own it. Be powerful. Make your choices. If you only want to do 5 minutes, only do 5 minutes. If you want to do 20, do 20. And something else to note about how to support your meditation is your diet. Our mind reacts to the foods that we eat. We know this. When you look at kids that are eating a lot of sugar, they go a bit loopy, right? Me, if I eat a lot of sugar, if I drink too much coffee, I go a little bit loopy. If I haven't eaten the right amount of food in a day, I lose energy, I lose focus, I lose concentration. So we can see that what we consume will affect the wanderings of our mind, will affect how our mind works. So how does this impact meditation? The more foods that you eat, the more variety of foods that you eat, the more crazy or the more erratic your mind is going to become. So if you eat, for example, a curry, think of how many spices and everything that's in ingredients that is in a curry, right? Your mind's going to react on all of that. And your mind starts going, your thoughts will go crazy. So if you've just had a curry, then you sit down to meditate, bringing those thoughts into a more calmer pace is going to be quite difficult. Detaching yourself from those thoughts, getting into the 3rd stage is going to be more difficult than if you just sat down to eat a chicken breast, broccoli and brown rice. It's just the way it is. Your mind reacts to what you consume. So if you really are struggling with an erratic and chaotic mind, and you're like, Carrie, I can't get to that third stage. I don't know what you're talking about because my thoughts just constantly keep going crazy. Yeah, think about it. But also, you might want to consider the time of day that you're meditating. You might want to consider what you are consuming prior to your meditation. And you might want to change things up. Maybe you do meditate first thing in the morning when you haven't eaten yet. And unlike me, without yet having had caffeine. Or maybe you want to do it last thing at night before you're about to go to bed, but then if you do that, then maybe you'll be processing all of the thoughts of the day and mind might be going quite crazy. But it is a good time because you get to process those thoughts. You get my point. If you want to slow down the chatter and the chaos in the mind, eat bland. So one of the things that I said that I would do for you is also to share with you some simple meditation techniques that you can start applying today so that you can gain these benefits of meditation. And I've mentioned a few already, but let's call them out. Right. So number one, you might want to focus on your breath. A very, very simple breathing technique, which actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic nervous system is what is responsible for or supports your digestion. It supports your relaxation. It gets you ready for sleep. The parasympathetic nervous system starts to calm you down. And this is very useful if you're in a high stress situation or you're feeling anxious, you're feeling panicky, and you want to reduce that and you want to calm down. We stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system. And one of the ways that we can do that is through breathing in a particular way so that the ratio of the inhale and the exhales are different. So you would inhale for a short amount of time and exhale for a longer amount of time. For example, you might inhale for a count of 3 and you might exhale for a count of 6. You might inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 6. It depends on where you are in your breathing technique journey as to how long your inhales and exhales are going to be. It doesn't matter. All that you need to do in order to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system is to elongate the out breath so that it is longer than your inhale. So this is one simple meditation technique. Inhale short, exhale long. And what you focus on whilst you're breathing is you can count if you want, or you can focus on the movement of the belly and the chest. You can focus on the air coming into your nostrils. You can focus on energy moving around your body as you're breathing. It doesn't matter. You choose. But just as long as you've got the ratio of inhales and exhales in the right way, then that's all that matters. Another good breathing technique to do is what we call box breathing. So you would inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold out for 4, or inhale for 8, hold for 8, exhale for 8, hold out for 8. Now, how quick these 4s and 8s are, it really doesn't matter. That's your count. What's important is that the counts are equal in length. Now, what does box breathing do? This breathing allows us to gain focus. We can gain clarity and focus through box breathing. So breathing is one very simple way that you can practice meditation, because obviously the one point of focus is, as I said, on your nose, on your abdomen, whatever you choose. Another example of a simple meditation technique is walking barefoot outside or inside. If it's too cold or you don't want to go outside or you can't go outside, you could walk inside. But walking barefoot, nice and calm and easy, and noticing how the body moves as you're walking and what you can feel underneath your feet, in the soles of your feet as you're walking. That is your single point of focus that will bring you into a meditative state. I remember one time I was in Koh Phangan. It's where you get to walk up and down for 4 hours. 4 hours is this meditation practice. There's nothing apart from you and this concrete floor and your feet and your thoughts for 4 hours. Now, you really get to become the observer of the mind when you're doing that for 4 hours. I don't suggest you do that. 10 minutes is fine, whatever you choose. But yes, walking barefoot is a very simple, quick, and effective way to meditate. Yoga is also another one. As you are practicing the asana, as you are doing the movements, you focus on the inhales and the exhales, and you focus on moving your body, what you can feel, and thoughts will come up, thoughts will flow, thoughts will fly away, and you'll see aspects of yourself that in ways in which that something else can't provide to you. Another simple meditative practice, yet very effective, is mantra. So mantra is where you get to recite and speak certain sounds, whether that be an English word, whether it be a Sanskrit syllable, whatever it might be. And the word or the syllable, the sound that you make, creates a vibration. And that vibration that is created as you speak, it helps your cells, your molecules vibrate in a particular way. You're also affecting the energy around you and projecting that vibration, that resonance outside of yourself. And as you project it out, of course, what we put out, we receive back. So not only do you affect and change yourself internally, your internal vibration, but you also put out a particular vibration and receive it back. And this helps us to raise our vibration. If, of course, what you are reciting, what you are mantraing is positive and is of high vibration. So let me give you some examples. A very classic mantra is, most people say Om, it's actually Aum, it's A-U-M, Aum, but it's been shortened to Om. If you recite this over and over and over, you'll feel the vibrations in the body, you'll feel the vibrations in the mind, and you will feel at the end of it, again, whether you do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, you will feel physically and mentally different. And as I said, there are many different types of mantras for different effects, whether it be psychological, physiological, or whatever. And you can have a look up on YouTube for a multitude of different mantras to use, depending on what impact you want to have. So if you want a mantra to help you calm down, or you want a mantra to help you feel more powerful, or you want a mantra to help you clear any obstacles away from you trying to achieve your goals, there's a mantra for that, using Sanskrit syllables, or you might just want to simply use English words, like using a positive affirmation, something like, for today, I am learning to become more compassionate. For today, I am increasing the amount of abundance I receive. One of the mantras that I recite regularly is, for today and every day, please bring me into alignment with the harmonic energies of the universe. It's a positive affirmation. You might want to say, I am wonderful. I am lovely. Whatever you want to choose. As long as it's positive, as long as it's raising your vibration and you recite it over and over and over, that vibration is what will change your cells, will change your molecules, and eventually change your DNA, and it goes out into the universe. So if you choose to use mantra as a meditation practice, you'll notice how you change physically, energetically, and mentally. And 2 other meditation techniques, which of course I'm going to recommend. Number 1, coloring or drawing or gazing at mandalas. Why? Because mandalas, I've got one here. If you're on YouTube, you can see I'm holding up the Sri Yantra. That's a mandala. Sacred geometry. Shapes give off vibrations, resonance. We receive the resonance. It changes the brain chemicals and it changes the way that we vibrate. So working with sacred geometry, working with mandalas, whether you're coloring, drawing, gazing at them, again, it's a wonderful meditation technique to help raise your vibration, and you will feel a difference. You'll feel difference in the mind, in the energy, and in your body. And the other one that I'm going to recommend, of course, is being with nature, being outside with nature, hiking in nature, walking in nature. When I say hiking, I don't want you to think like you got to put a backpack on and, get your walking stick out. I mean, you could go for a walk in the park, don't have to do anything too drastic, but being with nature, walking in nature, that too is an incredible meditation practice, because as long as you don't have your ear pods in, as long as you haven't got your mobile phone with you and you're looking at your text messages all the time, being with the nature, withdrawing yourself from the normal distractions, allowing yourself to observe the mind as you're walking along, gets you there. So in summary then, meditation is good for you physically, mentally, energetically, psychologically, physiologically. It's got benefits. This is why we want to do it. When you go through those 3 stages, it brings you into a state of meditation. I've busted 3 myths for you today. Meditation is not something that you do. It's something that you become. You do not have to sit down cross-legged with your hands in a mudra if you don't want to. You can bring in dynamic and fun ways to meditate. And the purpose of meditation is not to stop your thoughts. It is to observe the thoughts and to detach yourself from those modifications of the mind, and then to allow yourself to choose what you bring in once you have calmed those thoughts down. And I have shared with you some very quick, simple, and very easy meditative techniques that you can use. Walking, mantra, hiking, mandalaring, breathing, yoga. Those are just a few. So I've got a collection of meditations on my YouTube channel if you want to head over there and to take a look. Guided meditations where you can listen to my dulcet tones. Actually, people say that they're very effective, that I've got a wonderful meditative voice. So I do highly recommend you go over to my YouTube channel and start to listen to some of them. Some of them guide you through breathing techniques. Some of them guide you to visualize and dream and create these wonderful ideas and goals for your lives. So take your pick. But I also have meditations that I've recorded from around power spots around the world. So they're not guided meditations, but you listen to the natural sounds. And as you're listening to these sounds, you receive the power, the energy that is captured from that particular spot in nature that I was in. So you get to embody the power of where I was. I facilitate a workshop called What the Fuck is Meditation, where you actually learn more about what I've talked about today, and you get to practice some of these techniques and others. So that's available for purchase. If you want to buy that retrospectively, you can follow along with yourself, but also keep an eye out for when I facilitate that live next. So that's a good little nugget to have. Of course, I encourage you to join my membership so that you can create the time and space for regular meditation. Weekly we meet. Weekly we're working with different meditation techniques. Nothing too drastic, nothing too woo-woo or spiritual. I hate that word. Why am I saying woo-woo? I'm down to earth. So, whatever it is that I'm going to facilitate is going to be down to earth as well. Everything is done online. So I encourage you to join the membership so that you can regularly create the time and space for meditation, for your self-care, and be guided through all of these things by me, along with the wonderful community of people that we have. And you're always welcome to join a Bright Hike with me wherever I am facilitating this in the world. I encourage you to come along, but you could also go on your own Bright Hike. Get yourself out in nature. No earpods, no phones, and preferably no friends. If you can go out solo, that's even better, because then you really are just with you and your thoughts, and you can really see how it's working for you. Okay, my friends, thank you so much. Now I hope you understand a little bit more about what the fuck meditation is and how you can do it properly. And next time, on the next episode, I'm going to be talking about Muay Thai as my spiritual teacher. How? Why? What is it? Why do I do it? How does it teach me? Well, I'm going to be unveiling all of that. So have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed anything that I said today, if you got even just the winциest little bit of inspiration from me, please consider to subscribe, click the bell so that you're notified, and then also rate me, because that would be really, really helpful so that other people can find me and learn from all of my wonderful wisdom. If you've got any requests, link in the show notes. All right, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day, and don't let your dreams remain dreams. Love ya. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you enjoyed, or if you were inspired by anything that I had to say, then please do consider hitting the subscribe or the follow button. You might like to leave a review so that others can also benefit from hearing what we have to say here on the Bright Wellbeing podcast, and you can even share or comment. I really do love to hear from you, so there's a button for you to hit so that you can send me your feedback. You might like to consider following me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest. All of the links are in the show description. Not only that, but I've also shared links to some useful tools that you can download, so please do take a look. Until the next episode, my friends, may you dare to always dream the ridiculous dream, because what you can achieve is so much more than you can imagine. From my heart to yours, Take care.